I went with Dr. Luskay on the Cuba trip.
We went to Belize.
The Brazil trip.
To Curacao.
To Brazil.
To Costa Rica.
And the Bahamas.
Mugello.
Curacao trip.
To the Netherlands.
It was probably the highlight of my graduate program at PACE.
And it was the best course of my college career.
I really felt like I was part of the PACE community, which was really special for me.
Producing a documentary like that was just so amazing because it was something that was so relevant and so meaningful.
Because this class is what sets you apart from everyone else.
It was definitely the closest thing to actually being part of a film crew or television crew.
By actually stepping out of the classroom and seeing how things really work in the real world is extremely important.
I think one of the things that I'm really proud about with this documentary course is the exposure that it's gotten and the exposure that it's given to PACE. I think it's really important that we talk about Opportunitas at PACE University, where we give students an opportunity. Well, this is a great opportunity.
The cultural differences are what stand out the most to me.
Where they've never seen a different culture, they've never seen a different world, they've never seen anything outside of New York, and they are educated and aware of what's going on outside of their little bubble.
I know will stick with me for the rest of my life about Curacao is that I had never been to an airport before leaving to go to Curacao.
It's an important step in everyone's lives to be able to travel and to see what else is out there in the world, and this course helps you to do just that.
I'm very proud of these students and what they've done, and I feel like I have had a small part in it, but what I love is when they contact me, and they all do, and tell me about where they are and what they're doing. Now I am a coordinating producer for Smithsonian Channel.
Right now, I'm a freelance television producer who works mostly on sports television.
I work for a production company called Lucky 8.
I currently work as a corporate video producer.
I graduated PACE and immediately got a job at A&E Networks as a media coordinator.
Currently, I am a production intern at CNN with Digital Studios.
Right now, I'm a reporter in Fort Smith, Arkansas.
Currently, I work for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, or ATF as it's more commonly known, in their San Francisco Field Division as a Public Information Officer.
Currently, I work for NBC Sports as the Senior Manager of Marketing Operations.
Right now, I currently work for NBC Sports on the NASCAR circuit.
I'm currently an account development manager at a company called Ubiquity.
I work as the broadcast traffic and program scheduling supervisor at RNN TV, FIOS 1 News.
I was the field coordinator working with the producing teams on the CBS reality show Survivor.
Currently, I live in Los Angeles. I am the manager of development for Asylum Entertainment.
I'm currently living and working in Los Angeles on a new show as script coordinator.
I think my favorite part of producing the day in the life of the American ambassador was actually sitting down and interviewing the ambassador. At that moment, I kind of had an aha realization that this is what I want to do.
You know, we got to experience what it is like as if it were a job.
Creating a documentary was the kickstart to my entire career.
I just wouldn't have had those opportunities available to me if I hadn't been trained as well as I was trained, and also just had the experience of being at PACE and getting to know so many capable people.
The story develops the same way the student does, in that they have understood the way a story develops from the conception to post-production, which is the final stage.
The most important thing I learned from the course had to do with storytelling and the way that stories evolve.
It really emphasized what I truly wanted to do, and that was to go into storytelling, producing stories that took a while to investigate.
Being able to create a clear and concise story with the massive amounts of information that we took back with us from that trip.
It's something that we did with those documentaries, just learning how to use transitions and how to use cuts and how to use music to really tell a story.
You've stayed in this little bubble of your classroom for the most part, and then you kind of get thrown to the wolves, so to speak.
We were able to interview people, we were able to ask questions, come up with the questions, and let the story kind of dictate itself.
They have a set of questions in front of them that they're supposed to ask this person, and they realize from that one answer that those questions no longer exist. So the student has to think on their feet and decide, okay, I'm not going to ask them the next question, I'm going to go where they just led me.
This lesson and story has helped me in my own writing even today. As characters and plots develop, the original plan changes, oftentimes for the better.
Having students and or professors cycling through 24 hours, checking nets and figuring out what's going on is different than what we've done in the past, because there's always been a sense that we're in control to some extent, and here that we were not in control.
What makes this course so unique is that the students are actually working on a real production.
One of the first experiences I had was I think it was the very first documentary filmmaking class.
It's amazing what I've actually taken with me. Looking at the first documentary I did in Italy, it was very run and gun. We covered 9 regions in 7 days.
It was really the first time I used Avid and actually produced a video. It was really what kind of propelled me to follow that in my career and go into production.
Because once you kind of enter into the field, I feel like you really have a step up on everyone, just knowing how to use all the equipment that professionals are using. I actually was the only person, aside from the camera people, who knew how to use the cameras that we were using to shoot a daytime talk show.
What I learned from the course was just the basics of how to create a production and see it through from start to finish.
She teaches you to be resourceful, which is really important to what I do now, because in development you have to be your own producer, writer, editor, anything and everything. You have to do it yourself.
I learn a lot from the students during this course because I'm with them a long time and we're together. When we're shooting that documentary, we're together 24/7, and I mean that. They are shooting all day and we are logging and editing all night. And it's a lot of work, and I learn a lot from them because I learn a lot about them. I learn what students can and can't do. I learn where the strengths and the weaknesses come out, and I also learn that they work together as a team.
Teamwork is just so important, and it's important to communicate to your team, to communicate your ideas, because that will bring personality into whatever it is you're working on, and it will show.
I'll also say the relationships that I built while I was there, it was a 10-day shoot, it was a very quick trip, but I think that only helped to strengthen the bond of the people that were all there. We were such a team, and trying so hard to tell this story, and we just all got very close.
My biggest memory from that trip would probably be the relationships that I formed. A lot of us still talk to each other today, and I think those relationships will last a lifetime.
I also made some lifelong friends, and they are still some of my best friends in the industry.
You go into it and can essentially learn something from everyone. You learn about yourself and what kind of role you like to play, and you can also instill knowledge upon other people from the experiences that you have.
Because everyone's doing everything, you really figure out what you love, what you love to do. You like filmmaking, but what do you love?
The craziest story that I have in all of this is the couples, students that have dated and gotten married from this class.
Our last night in Portugal was when Vinny asked me to officially be his girlfriend, and we've been going strong ever since.
The documentary course was also pretty special for us because we spent so much time together that by the end of the semester, a little bit after we started, dating, and we're still together today. That's 4.5 years now.
Yep.
We met on the trip.
We did.
Obviously.
How's that obvious?
Well, we were both on it. We just said we were
We
both
had,
on
but
it.
we didn't know each other before then.
No, that's why I said we met on the trip.
We ended up getting married about
almost 4 years ago?
8 years after the trip.
Producing the documentary was definitely a life-changing experience in more ways than one, and I'm so grateful to have met the love of my life and my future husband through this course.
And all I have to say is it's really funny the way things work out.
I have been through beaches and jungles and rainforests and vineyards and very interesting spots and situations with students. And I will tell you that those memories will last for my entire life.
The night before our deadline, Dr. Luskay even brought a cot into the lab and slept in the sound room in solidarity.
It takes a lot to do this, and I understand how much time and effort it takes. So I'd like to thank Dr. Luskay for her patience and for her passion.
I do not think that I would be where I am, even just now a month out of graduating, if it was not for this class.
The friendships I've made that carry through with those students and the things that I have learned from them and about them and with them on these trips is something that I will never forget. And I'm proud to say that I enjoy it as much as they do.
Okay.
Alright. I'll eat your